Hello students, how are you? I hope you are doing great. I'm teacher Paula, and today we will learn about sentence structure. Now, we're going to divide this in various lessons, okay? So this first lesson will be a really short introduction. We will see what is a sentence, and really shortly, we're going to learn a little bit about sentence structure, okay? So first we will see what is a sentence, okay? We're gonna answer this question, and it's really important for you to know that a sentence it's a grammatically complete idea, okay? It's really important that you know that a sentence must have a complete idea for it to be considered a sentence, okay? So it has to share a complete thought, a complete idea, okay? Keep it in mind that is really important when we talk about sentences, okay? Now we're going to see some truths about sentences in the English language. Important to know, for you to know that it is about the English language, okay? First and foremost, a new sentence always begins with a capital letter, okay? So for example, here we have, he obtained his degree. We'll see the same example in all of the truths, but he obtained his degree. He is capitalized, the first letter is capitalized because it is the beginning of the sentence. Okay, easy as that. Then we have a sentence ends with a punctuation mark. Always, it can be a period, a question mark, question mark, when you ask a question, or an exclamation point. Okay, depending on what your sentence is. Okay, so in this case, we have a period because it's just a statement. He obtained his degree. Next, number 3, a sentence contains a subject that is given only once, okay? Very important, only once. When we have a subject, it can be various subjects, it doesn't matter, but we only mention them once. So for example, Smith, he obtained his degree, is wrong because they are mentioning the subject twice, okay? So we only mention it once. So we either say he obtained his degree, or we can say Smith obtained his degree. Okay. Number 4, sorry. A sentence contains a verb or a verb phrase. Okay, it must contain a verb or a verb phrase. So for example, he obtained his degree. Obtained is our verb, so it is a complete sentence or a verb phrase, okay? Which is obtained his degree. Then we have number 5. A sentence follows subject, verb, order, word, object, or word order, sorry. So for the English language, the sentence always follows SVO word order, or subject, verb, object, word order. For example, he obtained his degree. He is our subject, obtain is our verb, and his degree is our object of sentence, okay? Then for the last one, number 6, a sentence must have a complete idea that stands alone, and this is also known as independent clause. Independent clause, okay? So our example is a sentence, but we can also call it independent clause. Okay, makes sense? Great. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments, okay, and I'll answer them. Finally, we have a little bit about sentence structure. So as I said, a sentence must have at least one subject. Remember, we only mention it once. It can be many subjects, but we only mention them once, and one predicate. And this predicate can be only one verb, or it can have a lot of complements, okay? And this is to be considered a complete sentence. So for example, I like spaghetti, or he reads many books is a complete sentence, and I is our subject and he is our subject in both cases, and then like spaghetti is our predicate. Our complete predicate is like spaghetti, but here in green, I will circle it, is our verb, okay? It's very important. Inside the predicate, we will find our verb, okay? Then a sentence can also be divided into independent clauses, and here in yellow, I'll underline dependent clauses, okay? So an independent clause can stand alone as a sentence. So I like spaghetti and he reads many books are examples of independent clauses and it contains a subject and verb and is a complete idea. Very important. Remember I mentioned a sentence must have a complete idea, meaning an independent clause can also be considered or be said to be a sentence, okay? So a complete sentence, a complete thought, independent clauses equal sentence because it contains subject, verb, and a complete idea, okay? The difference between a dependent clause and an independent clause is that the dependent clause does not have a complete idea, okay? It's not a complete sentence. It must be attached to an independent clause to become complete, okay? And we can also call these dependent clauses a subordinate clause, okay? For example, two examples of dependent clauses. Although I like spaghetti, dot dot dot, we are missing something there to complete it. Because he reads many books. What? So we ask ourselves, what? What's next? What happens? Why? When? How? Okay? So if we don't answer those questions, it is not a complete sentence. The difference between an independent clause and a dependent clause is the fact that it's not a complete idea. A dependent clause is not a complete idea, okay? It's missing something, and that something is an independent clause. For example, although I like spaghetti, I hate tomatoes, yeah? I hate tomatoes is our independent clause, and it's a complete thought. I hate tomatoes, it can stand alone, but although I like spaghetti, cannot, okay? That's the end of today's lesson. If you have any questions, please type them down below and I will answer them as quick as possible, okay? Please remember to be respectful and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.